Welcome back to CryptosRus. I'm George. We're all George. So, got a couple exciting things to talk about today, and the market bell just rung. Why is Vitalik selling ETH? That's the big question of the day. Seems like a pretty bad time to be selling. So let's talk about that. Also, let's talk about this Bitcoin pattern that looks very similar to 2020. So, is that bullish or bearish? Let's talk about that as well. All right, let's get started. Welcome, guys. Hopefully you guys had a good weekend. Looks like the U.S. market is going to be mixed. I don't know. NASDAQ is doing better than Dow right now, but we'll see. We'll see. Last few weeks has not been good. We got more economic FUD to worry about. We still have China, who seems to be in a very, very bad position. Their central bank trims a one-year rate, but not the five-year rate. But overall, we know China is trying to spur up their economy once again, doing capital injection, which means they're printing again, they're lowering rates, all try to battle deflation. Yes, they are in deflation mode, and their property, the whole situation of their properties is not good ever since Evergrande declared bankruptcy. But even before that, it seemed like, everything was coming downhill. There's just too much being developed over the years, and now there's no one to buy those properties. So China is still leaving the whole world worried about what's going to happen with their manufacturing. We just got out of COVID, and hopefully we don't see the same thing where everything gets delayed and there's no more production. And then that's going to cause prices around the world to go up again. It's going to cause inflation to go up again. And then what does that mean? Does that mean like Powell is going to have to keep raising rates, right? So it's a very complex situation right now. So obviously that's no good. So that's out of China. Also, this week, we'll have a whole bunch of economic data, including jobless claims, which is very important these days, existing home sales, durable goods orders, right? But we also have Fed Chair Powell. He's going to be in Jackson Hole, and he's going to be making a big press conference on Friday, okay? I remember last time he spoke at Jackson Hole, he said some very, very bearish things. I forgot when was last time. Last year? Has it been a year already? But last time I remember he was there speaking, it was no good. He had a very, very hawkish tone, okay? And I'm hoping this time around he does not. So this is like exactly 1 month before the next FOMC meeting, right? Is he going to indicate that we need another rate hike or more rate hikes in general? That would be bad. Very bad. Okay. Or he might say, well, it's still a wait and see moment, right? Inflation didn't really tick up. Core inflation actually ticked down. Job numbers are still looking good. Economic numbers are softening. So maybe it's still a wait and see moment. That would be the best case scenario. So that's also coming this week on Friday. All right. Now, outside of economic news, what else? Well, I don't know what to think of this. Vitalik Buterin, who co-founder of Ethereum, decided to move 1 million ETH, okay, not 1 million ETH, $1 million worth of ETH to Coinbase. So there's a really good chance, I would say a 99.9% chance, that he has done so because he needs that money for something, right? I mean, there's really no reason at all to be transferring $1 million worth of ETH to Coinbase. And this is from a very old wallet that contained about $8 million. I thought it was going to be like $8 billion. No, about $8 million. So it shows right here that he deposited 600 ETH, about $1 million to Coinbase. My camera's cutting it on the side. It shows that, right? So basically, it's a wallet from back in the day. I don't know if it's a spare wallet, test wallet. Imagine just having a test wallet sitting there with $8 million worth of ETH. That's pretty pretty nice. But yeah, he's decided to sell about $1 million worth of ETH. Really no reason, none given. Maybe people will get up on him on X, and then he's going to answer why. But right now, no reason why. So we don't know, right? But is selling off $1 million of the ETH going to dump ETH in general? Of course not. If this was 1 million ETH being dumped, then yes, it certainly would. But $1 million worth of Ethereum on Coinbase is not even going to make a drop, I don't know, $1, okay? It's just really not. So he's probably, I don't know, he's just selling because he wants to buy a new Bugatti or he wants to buy a new house. Maybe it's for good reasons. Maybe he wants to donate that money to people in Maui. I don't know, but I think he's going to be selling that. But overall, I don't think it means that he's bearish on Ethereum, okay? Or this is going to be bearish on Ethereum overall. It is not going to make any price difference. So yeah, just want to say that as well. Now, what about Bitcoin? Well, Bitcoin is mimicking this pattern from 2020, and it's a very good one, okay? So the pattern is the daily chart, the RSI, is extremely low. It shows that Bitcoin is oversold. In fact, it even ties to the RSI to oversold level of COVID crash, March of 2020. So we have to go back, what is that, 3.5 years. To me, the COVID crash still seems like it was like literally last year. It's amazing that it's been 3.5 years because I remember that crash vividly, okay? When we were coming up from bottom of 3,100, you know, we rose up to about 14,000. We came back down a little bit to about maybe 10, 11,000, and boom. We went from 11,000 down to 3,800 in a matter of, what, 2 days? Because everyone was scared about what was happening with COVID and lockdowns and everything, right? So think about how scary that moment was. And Bitcoin was below 4,000 at that point, right? So from a oversold level, right now we are equaling that. That's how oversold we are. Despite the fact, yeah, we had Luna, Celsius, FTX collapse, right? We've recovered from the bottom of 15,000. We're at 26,000 now, which is not optimal. It's lower than our previous high or local high of 31,000, yes. But if you think about it, man, it's quite amazing. Quite amazing how far Bitcoin has come, right? And we are now at the same oversold level as March of 2020. So if you're waiting for a buying opportunity, if you've been sitting on the sidelines thinking that, I'm going to wait for better prices, okay? This is one of those times. It's confirmation that this is a pretty darn good time to be accumulating and buying, right? If you've been sitting on the sidelines, if you've been in the game already and you're looking for a good DC opportunity, whenever we go higher, people always ask, do you think we're going to fall down to this level or this level? I need it to go down to buy, right? Again, this is confirmation like this is a pretty good time to be loading up right now, okay? This is also measuring the open interest on Binance, basically the futures interest, how many people are placing their longs versus shorts, right? And it is very, very low. Okay, again, going all the way back to March. This is not going back all the way to March of 2020, but this is going back to March. So again, shows that there's very little greed right now, which can be interpreted that this is a very good thing. This is the bottom signal, like a local capitulation point. Again, if you're looking for confirmation to be loading up, to be accumulating, to be DCAing, this would be one of those moments, right? So that's why we're mimicking these previous patterns, because we did sell off, but this is a good thing. a bullish thing for those of you guys that want to be in the game, that understand what Bitcoin is about, and have this trust in central banks and fiats around the world. This is a great time to be coming in. In fact, Blockstream's CEO Adam Black believes, he made a bet recently that he believes that Bitcoin will hit 100,000 before the halving in 2024. And that's only 6 months away. 6 months away. He believes that we will be at 100,000 before April of 2024. Is he going to be right? We have seen many prominent people make really big, bold predictions. We had what? The CTO, the ex-CTO of Coinbase say $1 million in 3 months, which I said was not going to happen, but it caused a lot of people to get quite excited, right? So this time around, can this happen? It's a possibility. Now, the biggest reason why he thinks this will happen is because of Bitcoin ETFs, okay? Bitcoin ETFs, spot ETFs has never, ever existed before, and we have a really good shot of having like 8 or 9 of them be approved right before the halving event, which can bring billions upon billions upon billions of liquidity into this space, right? In fact, speaking of those 9, we will have another deadline. The ARK one, kind of like we just kind of rolled past it, right? So the ARK one, we're looking at a third deadline. But if you're looking at all the other ones, like the one from BlackRock, for example, we're going to get a deadline next early September 2nd, right? And you can see we have BlackRock, Bitwise, Van Eyck, WisdomTree, Investo Galaxy, Fidelity, and Valkyrie, right? Their third deadlines are coming up. And then they have a second and third, right? Third deadline for those are right after the final deadline for ARK. So if ARK gets approved in January, right, then all those other ones will be approved in January too. Now, if the ARK one gets denied, not all hope is lost, because then we have the BlackRock one that's coming up in March. So all of those are right before the halving event. And if we do get one or all approved either in January or March, we will see massive amount of money flowing in, and then this prediction of 100,000 before the halving event can certainly be a possibility, right? And many people are betting that BlackRock is going to get it done. They don't want to look like fools. They don't want to look like, they spurred up all this attention and momentum and enthusiasm only to get denied. No, Larry Fink, he has his ways of getting what he wants, right? So, looking forward to the next 6 months and seeing where Bitcoin's going to go. But over the last, my camera's cutting this off. But over the last 3 years, basically, if you look at MicroStrategy and Michael Saylor, even though MicroStrategy stock has been going up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, right? Their Bitcoin strategy has worked better than Apple strategy and Microsoft strategy and Alphabet and Amazon strategy, even NVIDIA. So MicroStrategy had a bigger increase in market cap than all those companies over the last 3 years, simply by following the Bitcoin strategy. So obviously it has worked. It has worked, right? So that's why Michael Saylor believes there's no better strategy than the Bitcoin strategy. Okay, outside of MicroStrategy, just looking at this random news like this, where Momentum Capital is looking for the next Apple in crypto, right? And this is the reason why we have altcoins. Even though Bitcoin is the big daddy, I believe is going to replace gold one day as the ultimate, store of value, right? But many others, including VCs and angels and hedge funds, they're looking They're looking at the next Apple or the next Microsoft or even maybe the next Microstrategy that's in the Web3 space. That's why alts exist. That's why they are putting a lot of money in there. And, I mean, it's not just them. There's so many other funds being developed right now or fundraised. And we're talking about ones that are like from Andreessen Horowitz, A16Z. I mean, we're talking about multi-billion-dollar funds made to invest in Web3. So it's not just about Bitcoin. It's about everything. It's about the entire space, right? So it's going to get very, very exciting. All right, guys. That is what I wanted to say today. NASDAQ is looking good. NASDAQ is leading the way. Tesla is big up today, 4%. It's about time. Coinbase is still down. Mara is still down. And Bitcoin is still hovering around 26,000. Going sideways, very sideways. All right, let's do some Q&A. Gonzalo E. Morales Guzman. What a username. Good morning. 6:30 here at the San Francisco Bay Area. Cheers. Gemini Soul 92 says, I'm broke, but somehow I'm still buying. You have that conviction. You're finding a way to do it. Awesome. Let's see. Am I still bullish on Gala and Avalanche? Yes. More so on Avalanche. Vitalik is going to buy Binance.us with this $1 million. No, I don't think that's the plan. You know, who knows? It could be. This could be for a humanitarian reason. I mean, maybe he just wants to donate $1 million. Could be as simple as that. It actually makes a lot of sense. If someone offered you 10 quant or 1 ETH, which would you take? 1 ETH. You think it's dropping to 20K before heading back to 30K? No, I do not think. I do not think so. I'll just leave this up here. Leonidas, is that really your name? Wow, that's a strong name. Your son's birthday, Trey. Happy birthday, Trey. What is the future of Atom if they can't profit from the L1s derived on Cosmos? Well, they're trying to figure that out. I mean, with maybe more burning. They have the security sharing, which requires Atom for smaller chains, right? But yeah, they're still trying to figure it out. Sheldon, I'm not going to repeat that. Greetings from Greece, another George. Welcome. And greetings from Portugal. Welcome. I sometimes hate that the blockchain is open. People always on their toes, freaking out whenever people move their funds. Well, that's, you know, the good and bad about transparency, right? And you can't hide that or change it. I mean, you can't hide it. There are certain chains that allow privacy, you know, secure or anonymous transactions, right? But, yeah, there's good and bad. People study people's wallets, so that's why you don't want to actually give away your wallet, because once it's out there, people knows. What about Kusama? I have no thoughts about Kusama. Polkadot and Kusama both are very neutral in my book. I've never really got, I don't know, invested in either one. Ooh. Hello from Netherlands. Have you heard that Sora Network has launched its DeFi credit card, and what do you think? DeFi credit cards or debit cards are not new. They're not exciting to me. And I don't see why people will want to spend their crypto, especially now. So I guess it's good if you're like a crypto billionaire or millionaire and you want to spend it using a debit card, but there's a lot of projects that offer that already, so I don't really have any thoughts on that other than what I just said. There's a lot of Leonidas. Man, I love Leonidas from 300, but I've never met anyone in person named Leonidas, but it's a nice name. I really like that name. That's a strong name. There are certain names that just, sound strong. What's your favorite altcoin at the moment? That's a good question. I don't know. There's too many. I don't really have like a favorite one. I just know that there are certain ones to hold. Let's just put it that way. Right? I'm speculating a lot of microcaps, not a lot, but a few. But like there are a few that are must hold in my opinion, right? Like for example, ETH is definitely a must hold. I think BNB is a must hold. I think even XRP is a must hold at this point. Yeah, and then others like Cardano, Solana, Polygon, right? Avalanche. These are ones that I've been talking about a long time. I think they're must holds. Even though they're still down like, 70, 80, 90%, I think they're going to come up. There's a few that I think are interesting. Like SHIB now with Shibarium could be quite interesting, right? Cosmos is still very high in my book because I think they'll eventually figure out their token economics, right? Hedera, and some of the other newer chains like Arbitrum, Optimism, right? I think they're interesting. A lot of DeFi projects like Lido, Rocket Pool, they're interesting. They're not must hold, but I think they could do very well. VeChain is in there, Near is in there. So I don't have a favorite alt, but I just think there are a lot of must hold and a lot of interesting projects. So I'll just put it that way. Audio, man, I have not heard anyone talk about Audius for a long time. They're 173 million. I mean, the good thing about Audius is I think when they moved to Solana, it kind of screwed them up. A lot of projects that moved Solana kind of got screwed up afterwards for some reason. But yeah, they're decentralized Spotify, and they already have millions of users that don't even know they're listening to something decentralized. But yeah, they have not done so well in the last year, or from their peak. They were at almost $4 during their peak. They have to go up like 20, 30x just to get back to previous high. It could happen. I mean, they did this before, so it could happen. But I don't really hear it. They were trying to move to NFTs before too for artists. I don't know if that actually happened. But NFTs right now are really weak too. So even if they did, probably didn't help them. Greetings from LA. Optimism or Arbitrum? Optimism has been gaining a lot of momentum, and you're hearing about a lot of projects using the Optimism stack. Like BNB is now, they're doing an OP BNB chain utilizing the Optimism stack. Base is based on Optimism stack, right? But Base is a competitor to Optimism right now, and they stole a lot of transactions away. But Base doesn't have their own governance token, so you can't really profit off of that. I don't know. Arbitrum is already the big daddy, but Optimism could be the better play because it's so much cheaper. Greetings from Orlando. Man, I would think it'd be a horrible place to be living in. Orlando, that is. It's not. It's like 90% tourists. You know, they're all driving slow and probably causing the prices to come up wherever you shop at and stuff. I would think it's a pretty bad place to live in. It'd be great. It's a great place to visit for vacation, but to live in day to day, I don't know. And everything's owned by Disney. I didn't know Phantom was hacked. Yeah, that multi-chain hack, that was a Phantom DEX or bridge. So I'm sorry to hear that, Malvin. That happened a few weeks ago, or maybe a few months ago. How do you feel about Illuvium and Compound? Illuvium is one of those projects, very hyped up, never done. So I've kind of given up on Illuvium because their main game just seems like it's nowhere close. And Compound, okay, I don't really neutral on them. Greetings from Israel. There's a lot of greetings today. A lot of people chiming in wondering why Vitalik sold, which we don't have a clear answer. Maybe he just wanted to sell. Maybe he just wanted a cool million in his bank account, right? Or maybe for humanitarian reasons. Maybe he wants to get a Bugatti. Who knows? Who knows, right? Yeah, for this week, we got this Jackson Hole conference. Press conference. So leading up to that, U.S. market may be a little shaky. Today, NASDAQ is looking pretty good. Tesla's on fire today. Coinbase, Mara, everything turned green, which is great. I was actually thinking I needed to buy some Tesla on last Friday, but I ran out of time. They've been really, 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 really oversold. But same thing with Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin is oversold too. This is the time to be stocking up. It's as oversold as the COVID crash in 2020, which to me still seems like it was only like a year ago. It does not feel like 3.5 years ago. It really feels like it was a year ago. So that's kind of crazy if you think about it. Greetings from Philadelphia and Canada and Singapore and Los Angeles and Toronto and Miami. I've never been to Philadelphia. I don't believe I've ever been to Philadelphia. I've never been to Singapore. I really do want to go to Singapore for Token 2049, but I really don't want to sit 22 hours in a plane. So, yeah. Gala circulating supply went from 7 billion to 23 billion after the upgrade. Do you think it's still possible to get back to all-time high? The market cap would be around 20 billion if it did. That certainly makes things harder, but they also have burning. So if they burn enough, it could be possible. And this time around, there's more money coming into the space. But I wasn't aware they actually increased the supply. I know they did V2, which specifically was around fixing their token economics, but I didn't know it was a big jump. But there are several projects that are going to be unlocking. For example, Arbitrum is going to unlock. Sand is unlocking. And they're unlocking like a crazy amount of tokens. So that is something to pay attention to for sure. Can I pop up the ICP chart? No. No, it's not a project that I like or believe in. I don't know why so many people are into ICP. I don't quite get it. I don't quite get it. I mean, they're still, I guess, okay at 1.5 billion, but man, this project was way too hyped up. I know we're past that, and we're past everything else, but they still, to me, it seems a lot more centralized than decentralized. I don't know. I never got ICP, and I still don't. I see. Seems like a lot of influencers talking about ICP. I never liked it. Never liked it. I don't know. I might change in the future, but from what I remember, my early research days, I did not. I did not. And it still seems, yeah, I don't know. It's very centralized, and also there's a lot of KYC requirements, and everything's done by IDs, which again forces people to identify themselves. I'll have to do some more research on them, but I'm still neutral. You are accumulating? Yes. Yes, I am. How about your hamster still spinning up George coin? I don't think, I'm going to be quite honest, I don't think that's something that I'm ever going to do. I don't want that scrutiny. I don't want that pressure. I really don't. Looking at all these other meme coins that have come and go and collapse, and looking at the others that have come out their coin, I don't want that. Like, even in a bull market, that could probably make a lot of people into billionaires, but still, it's too much scrutiny. Don't want the SEC to be knocking on my door. Don't want to disappoint you guys if it, goes down in a bear market. Yeah, I don't want that. Wherever you are, whoever sent that super chat, I can't say your name, but I appreciate that. How about Flux? Well, if you come to Cypherpunk, you'll know more about them, which is next month, and the next month. But yeah, they're chugging away. What I'm more excited about with Flux is their push into AI, sharing GPUs for AI, AI processing. Right, a lot of people get excited about render, because they think they're in the AI space, but they're limited to just like 3D rendering, not really into AI. Flux is, so I think that's probably the most exciting thing about Flux right now. Alrighty, let's conclude. Today, the U.S. market maybe finally will end in the green. But overall, there's still some economic worries, for sure, especially out of China. Vitalik sold $1 million worth of ETH. Is it a big deal? No. Is it a big deal that Bitcoin is extremely oversold? Yes. This is definitely the time to be accumulating and buying, guys. So stay strong, and I will see you guys tonight, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. All right? Have a good one, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.